Bleach Soul Resonance has been out for what, 5 days now, and personally I love it. Tell me, do you guys love it? Are you guys enjoying the game? If you're not, let me know what it is you're not liking about the game. I'd love to hear it so that I can defend it. No, I'm joking. I'd love to hear it, so just let me know down below. But also, I noticed that a lot of people are doing a lot of team comp videos, which is very important, by the way. Like how to put together teams, what teams go well together and shit. But what I haven't noticed is anyone making individual character videos. And it is, I would say, just as important to know what each character does, how to build them. So today, we're going to be doing how to build and how to use who I believe to be the most valuable unit in the game right now, not including Toshiro coming. So right now, KISUKE, Hat and Clogs URAHARA. So let's get into his kit, what he does, and how you can use him. Oh, and how to build him. But before we do, guys, please, I'm getting closer and closer to 1,000 subs. Help me support the channel. Let's get me to that 1K goal. Like and subscribe. Let's get into the video. Okay, so here he is. This is my KISUKE. I've got him at 50. He's got 23k power. He's actually got more power than my Ichigo right now, and that is solely because I got a dupe into his stamp, but we'll talk about that in a sec. These are the stats that he's rocking right now. He has a lot of ult charge rate, which is good, because as you're gonna see in a minute, that we're gonna want his ult as fast as possible. But before we get into, we can briefly talk about what build you can put on him. But this game has something really good, yeah. It's if you click this down here, this button down, wait, I'm in the way, hold up. Okay, down here, if you click this button down here, right here, then what it will show is not just like what skills it recommends you to level up first, but also recommended basic lineups, advanced lineups, and it even tells you what stamps is the most optimal for this character, which is really good. The light is shining bright on my face, god damn. But anyway, it obviously means that you can look on here and you won't even need anyone to tell you what is optimal for the character. The game just goes out its way to help us anyway, so that's good. But either way, it's content for us creators, so I'm gonna go over it anyway. So when we're talking about we won't talk about build, we'll talk about his kit first, because then it makes sense to talk about his build after. So passive, this is why he's so good, this is why he's so valuable, because whenever he releases a special, a technique, or an ultimate or a counter attack, it grants him 1 stack of ratio analysis to the entire team, and every stack gives 10% attack for 15 seconds, and you can stack it 3 times, but that's base. So at base you can get 30% attack boost to the entire team. And then we can look at his first passive boost, which makes him gain an extra 87%. Well, it's less than that on base, but on level 2 of passive boost, it's 87.5% to spiritual pressure, which means that the little meter that leads him to his special attack, where he launches those Benihime slashes, that basically goes up quicker, so you'll be able to fire those off even quicker. And then we look at his passive boost 2, which gives him basically ult charge of 15%, which is perfect because you're going to want to be hitting his ult as much as possible. And then we look at passive 3. Whenever he releases a special attack, it increases his ult damage by 15%, and you can stack this 4 times, meaning that you'll be getting a 60% damage boost on his ult. But which is all nice, but you're not using this guy for damage mainly anyway. It's nice that he's putting out damage, but you're mainly gonna just be using him for the insane support he gives to the entire team. So we'll look at his basics. His basics is nothing special, it's just 108% of attack, and it gains spiritual pressure for him. And his special attack is good, so it does 255% of his attack. This is, so obviously to use this, if you don't know already, you just hold his basic whenever his spiritual pressure is at max. And he does have 2, like, it's like 2 dots above his little fan thing, where it's kind of like charges it, so you'll be able to launch it twice. So yeah, it's really good for special attacks, reserves once at max spiritual pressure. Yeah, so each one of these is gonna give you a reishi stack, so all you gotta do is hit 3, or just if you counter, hit a special, hit his ult, then you've got full stacks already for your entire team for 15 seconds. And you're gonna be having all stacks up all the time, because you know how this game works. You want to keep quick switching into each character, and you know, using their skills whenever cooldown is done. So you will have his buffs up nearly like 100% of the time. Now his counter, it obviously grants that stack of reishi, like I said, and it does a 375% damage. And it basically expands like a net of spiritual pressure from Benihime, and it restrains the enemy for a second. So yeah, that's really, really good. Let's see that. Okay, and his technique, this also grants a stack of reishi. So all of, like, basically all his moves except his basic grants a stack of reishi. He throws a portable Gigai, which basically taunts the enemy. So the Gigai will draw enemies towards it, and once it does, it will explode, doing 142% damage, which isn't that great, but like I said, you don't want it for damage anyway. And then his ult fires off bullets at the enemy, dealing damage equal to 450%. Which is okay. The team's crit damage then increases by a fixed 30% plus 30% of Urahara's crit damage for 25 seconds. So he's given a lot of crit rate and crit damage here, which is really good. So you're going to want to fire off his ult as much as possible as well, which is why passive boost 2 is really good, because it gives you ult charge rate. So this is all nice, but this is the kind of thing you want. So you want to obviously aim for weapon stamps on all the characters if you can. And his is really good, because not only does it mean wait, it says releasing special attacks generates an additional, so okay, so his special attack here, this will make it so your special attack launches an extra sword slash from Benihime. So he'll do it twice from just one stack, and then this will give you 1 stack of reishi analysis as well, which means that once you hit a special once, that will make it 2 stacks of reishi analysis, and it increases your max reishi analysis stacks to 6. So that's double the stacks, meaning you're going to be getting 60% damage here, and it increases special attack damage by 15%. So it's crazy. So if you want this, I mean, so you're going to want this on your KISUKE if you can, of course. You're definitely gonna want that. If not, oh wait, let me see. If you don't have this, I believe you're going to want this one, which after releasing the technique, the entire team is buffed with a 7.5% increased attack. So this will just give you an extra almost 10% increase to their attack stat. And then his stamps. So in regards to his stamp, obviously his core stamp, you're gonna want the one that was made for him. And this stamp here is crazy. So I do have it ascended once. So what this does is it makes him enter stealth for 5 seconds after he releases ultimate, and then if you switch out or tap his technique button, then it will make him do Bakudo number 4, which basically creates a vortex and drags all the enemies in to the vortex, and like inflicts a lot of damage on them once it does. So it does 840% of attack, which is actually crazy. Like, it's more damage than all his skills. And dealt to affect enemy 35%. But yeah, this is insane. It also grants you a stack of reishi analysis. So with this, and paired up with the rest of what you have, like, you're always gonna have your reishi analysis stacked to the max, that being 60%. So yeah, he is crazy. He is actually crazy. So next, you want his stamps, his character stamps. Obviously you're gonna want to go with these ones, these KISUKE ones. I wish I had the 4-star version of this one. I don't even have the 4-star version of that one. All right, I gotta lock in and grind these stamps, but either way, you want all 3 pieces, because if you do, it grants you the 16% base HP. Wait, my fault, 1 second. Yeah, so it grants you the 16% base HP, plus it makes it so that you gain an extra 10% damage boost to your entire team for 25 seconds. So that goes from 60% up to 70% with this 3-piece set. So you're gonna want this. Not only that, obviously each individual stat boost that each one of these stamps has, you're gonna obviously apply it to him as well. I could level this up, but we're not gonna do that. Yeah, so we could, there's no point talking about his dupes, but his first dupe is pretty crazy. It gains an extra 10% slash damage bonus upon gaining a reishi analysis, and you know, you're gonna be gaining that a lot. So that dupe is nuts. If I could get that dupe, you know, I would. But now that we spoke about his kit and his build, why don't we take him into training and see how we use him? So let's do that really quick. Okay, so we're gonna take him into training really quick. We're gonna go with this team here because obviously this isn't his most optimal team. Obviously you're gonna want Bankai, Ichigo, Byakuya there, but I want to do a separate individual video for each one of them too, so I don't want to have them in this, otherwise it basically showcases all of them at the same time, and you know, we're trying to make videos out here. So we'll go in like this, we'll see how we would use them, and yeah, before I do, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into it. Okay, so KISUKE here. If you want, you could start off with KISUKE because, like, you know, he does, you do want to stack that damage. So his basics pretty simple. You just that's his full basic combo right there. You know, his damage isn't too crazy, but you know, you could probably tell here that he's building up his spiritual pressure down here. So this is what you want to look at while I'm doing those basics. You see how it stores that little diamond right here? That's basically meaning that I can use one special. So if you hold down the basic, he'll jump back and just throw some Benehime slashes. Mine did throw two because he does have the, is it the weapon stamp that allows him to do that? So there's that. Now his technique. So by the way, because of that, as you can see here, this little thing down here, that's the 2 reishi stacks, meaning 10% for 15 seconds. That's about to run out. Now I'll do his technique. Notice that his technique just gave me full spiritual pressure plus the 2 stacks right here. So now I can just release 2 more. And now I've got 5 stacks. That's 50% for 15 seconds for the entire team. Now we'll do it again. And you could just go straight into it just like that. And the Gi guy is obviously dragging guys in. The vortex that goes with it as well. So there is a lot of, because of his, I think it's his passive boost 2 or 1. I can't remember which one. But that's why it gives so much spiritual pressure once you hit his technique, so it will max it out, and obviously you can just use it just like that. And now there's me with 6 stacks. So usually around there you would build your stacks and then hop straight into your DPS or whatever other character, and you know, do your damage with that character because you know, you're at your peak performance. Okay, so we'll switch back into KISUKE here. We'll obviously look at KISUKE's ult next. This ult also has a disrupt. So if your enemy is doing an attack, that will disrupt them as well. So notice I'm in stealth mode now. So, and then I didn't get to do it in time. But while he's in stealth mode like that, the enemy won't know where you are for a minute, and then you can press your technique to create your vortex. How you would want to use him, basically switch into KISUKE, use your technique, build your stacks, switch into your DPS. You know, obviously you want to keep switching as much as you can. Switch back into KISUKE when you can, and then build your stacks. So notice I've got 6 stacks already. And now there's the vortex that you build with Bakudo number 4. Obviously you want to switch as much as you can, timing it properly, of course. Just like this. So to remember, KISUKE is not your main damage dealer. You will be using KISUKE to boost the damage of everyone else on your team. So while I'm doing this, you can see that the stacks of reishi is not going away because I keep switching back into KISUKE. I keep switching back into KISUKE and basically re-upping those stacks. And every time you hit the O, you're also getting boost on that too. So this is why KISUKE is basically the most important character in like any team. That's why he works off color. He is crazy. So that's basically him and how to use him in training. So like I said, we'll just quickly go over it. You be in KISUKE, and then you can use your technique, shoot that off, gain stacks, go into your other characters. Basically like this, and then you want to use time up until you can get his refresh again, so that you can just keep refreshing it. So now let's take him into a stage. All right, so we're gonna take him into a stage. I can't remember what this stage is called. Let me just find out. We're gonna take him into Hollow Elimination, and we're gonna run the same team as we did in training. I remember my Rukia isn't really that leveled, and neither is my Shika Ichigo. Like, he's not too bad, but he's not that leveled. But we're basically here just to see how to use KISUKE in actual battle with, you know, the DPS and the tactic unit. He is the support, so let's just go into the event. And when I'm playing this game, I get kind of locked, so if I'm not talking much, I do apologize, but let's go. Okay, so like I said, start off, we'll do this, go into the DPS, we'll parry that, get Rukia out for the field. Okay, let's see if we can freeze him here. Okay, no, we parry those. So there's his counter. This is what we wanted to see. So we'll do it again. We'll disrupt. Okay, it landed on him, so it doesn't disrupt. He was already frozen. All right, my fault. All right, we dodged those. Okay, that was I hoed KISUKE there, bro. All right, stop it. And then we'll do this. But sometimes there's so much going on the screen that I don't even see. Okay, let's do that while we still have those stacks up. And then we refresh those stacks here. Alright, we gotta dodge that. Okay, he's frozen. That's good. Alright, we parry those. But I know it might be hard to follow sometimes, especially when I really wasn't playing that good in that time. But basically, the way you want to use this guy, you want to maybe start with him, get those stacks going, bring in your DPS, keep quick switching. He does do a bit of damage himself. Oh look, we leveled up. So he's insane. You can put him on off-color teams because he does support the team anyway. He doesn't do, it's not strictly slash damage boost. So he's crazy. See if you can get him. Do you like the game? I do like the game. I do, but we're not rating it right now. See if you can get him. See if you can get his weapon. He feels like a must on every team right now. But that's gonna do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. I hope it helped. Leave a like, support the channel, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.